Yo, what's up guys, how's everyone doing? Please let me know if the audio and everything is okay, but yeah, it has been yet again one of those very interesting days. Today for me was not a very fun day, alright, because watching these things in real time, it can be incredibly stressful, and so this is why I say things like, it's better to not overanalyze, it's better to only check the charts a couple of times a day. I got a million messages like, how many times should I be at the chart every day? And my answer is always, you don't really need to be like a full-time analyst. The more you look at the charts, the more likely you are to actually fall into the trap of overanalyzing and shooting yourself in the foot. If you just took one look at the chart now, you would know we're bullish. And let's just get right into that actual analysis. So guys, I want to start with what happened yesterday right after our stream. I was talking about we had this bullish pennant and we were going to break out. Conventional charting told us we were going to break out and do very well. But I outlined one major concern, and that was the volume. We saw it on the 1 hour where all of our volume was dominated by the sell candles, and so this was very concerning to me, and I did say that it could mean we're going to go down. The likelihood was slim, but in our case we did end up going down. And it was very funny in the comments that we had yesterday. There were actually people giving targets of $4,000 once again. Guys, the sentiment flips so easily, and I've been saying it all the time, but the more it happens, the more it's actually starting to really annoy me now, because, it's almost, it's so polarizing. It is so polarizing. And I get it, right? The crypto community is scarred. Don Alt made a tweet about this. He's an amazing analyst, one of my favorite analysts. I don't use Twitter to look at crypto analysts, because they're always, just trying to fish for retweets by saying things like, oh, we're going to the moon and Bitcoin is going to be the reserve currency for the world. Bullshit. But Don Alt gives it straight, and he said it himself. The crypto community is scarred. The bulls don't want to get it wrong. And so we had a bullish setup over here. And the bulls didn't want to take it. I was in the same position. I was about to give a signal to say, I'm going to go long here. I was going to give a stop market long signal to catch a breakout. Unfortunately, the pump happened right when I was about to post it, and we missed out on that pump. We did get in. I'm up, I think, like 40% on this pump anyway, but we would have had like 100%, so unfortunately not ideal. Now what we've got, alright, so we had this big dump here, and it came pretty much out of nowhere. A lot of people saying they expected it. Fair enough. Like I said, the volume was the biggest warning sign, and of course it could have indicated that we were going to dump. The volume on this pump, or rather this dump though, is what really concerned me, because it was huge. We look at the volume on this 4-hour candle, and it tops out pretty much everything until the candle where we broke out from 6,800 to 7,400. If you guys were here since then, you will know that I did call this pump. Now, the volume pumping up this high is extremely concerning, or rather was extremely concerning, because it showed us that the bears still had a lot of strength. And even more so than that, this is the part that's really concerning, and I'm going to get onto it a little bit later in this stream though. What it really showed more than that is that the bulls lost their strength. We had a lot of buying opportunities. This could have turned out to be a bull flag where we only bottomed out at $8,000. But we didn't. We actually went about $200 lower than that. And so it shows that the bulls didn't have strength to keep that up. I'm going to get into this a little bit later in the stream as well. But the thing about this pump is it only took our cryptocurrency volume in 24 hours, the 24-hour volume, which you can find on coinmarketcap.com. It took our 24-hour volume up from about 13 to 14. So it was only a $1 or $2 billion pump in our 24-hour volume. So in the grand scheme of things, it was bigger than everything we saw in the past couple of hours, but it was not as big as the other pumps we saw. That is great news, because what we saw today was a volume pump from 14 billion to 17 billion. That is a $3 billion pump this time in terms of volume. That is a much bigger change, and so what it does show to us within today's trading range is that the bulls do have their strength. They have been able to recover, and it is indicative that we still have our bullish bias remaining. Now guys, bear in mind, we are in an uptrend. We've now set a new low, which is higher than our previous low. This means our bullish setup is still very much intact. We are still in an uptrend. We are still in some form of a short or mid-term bull market. Very, very good signs. And so guys, because of that, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title, Bitcoin $9,200 and higher incoming. Guys, this is a very bullish setup. We have tested a low. All of that manipulative news, we had a bunch of bearish news hit at the same time. It took us falling right down. And to be honest, I mean, it was something that was necessary. A lot of people may argue that we needed a pullback. I sympathize with it. I don't agree. But in hindsight, I guess we did need a pullback. And now we had it. So we're ready. We went down. We refueled that rocket. And we're about to smash back up again. This is good news. Now again, if we look at the volume here, it's not as high as our previous candle, but you have to understand this is a little bit misleading. The volume that we have in the total market has actually pumped up by a lot more than when we were going down. These individual 4-hour candles are not telling us the whole story. So yes, on the whole, we do still have a lot of bullish volume, and I made one very small exception here to look at the 5-minute chart, because it is very important to tell us in the short term, where is this volume going? Christopher Park, nice hopium, I see. Christopher, I don't give hopium, alright? I'm being realistic with you guys. You might be new to the channel, so you didn't know that. But this 5-minute chart is telling us some very good things with the volume, because yet again, what we're seeing now is instead of the red volume dominating way back over here, we're now seeing the green volume dominate. And so this probably will mean that we're going to continue to set higher highs and higher lows. Now, of course, we don't use the 5-minute chart. This is a very bad chart to be using. Anything less than 4 hours, perhaps with the exception of the 2-hour chart, thanks to, I forgot the name, but someone who suggested it last stream, anything less than the 2-hour chart is not something good to look at. You can make a couple exceptions, use the 1-hour chart for a couple seconds of time, and then that's it. But on the whole, we don't want to use the 5-hour chart. It's incredibly misleading. So we'll go back here and we'll look at the overall trend. And of course, we are still forming a very clear falling wedge. So if we were to continue with our falling wedge now, we'd probably go down, perhaps form a new low around 7,700 rather, which is actually one of the lows I was calling for. If we do make a Fibonacci retracement, let's go ahead and do that. It would show us that the 618 retracement, which is the most common retracement for Bitcoin for everything, the 0.618 retracement does fall within that $7,700 range, and so it does look very likely. Now, of course, we did bounce off the 0.5 retracement, the 50% retracement from our previous low to our previous high. And so this does also line up, and it could mean that we have seen the bottom now and we are going to go up. In light of that, that is why I took up a long despite all of these things, because the risk to reward does look very nice right now. Given the volume, given how the fundamentals have not gotten worse, did not get worse over the past 24 hours, including this dump. The fundamentals did not get worse because of it. A lot of perhaps the reason for why there was a dump yesterday was that Winklevoss news about the ETF getting rejected, but we can write essays about why that was obvious anyway. The fact is, nothing changed in the sphere to result in the dump. It was all either a bot dump or psychological and bulls that have been stretched out too far in every direction, just caving in and selling, getting wrecked. The longs, I mean, we take a look at the longs, and yet again, it's the same story. I mean, it's just, completely, it's really unfortunate. These longs over here, these were people who took up longs at like $8,400. And guys, I gave the disclaimer over and over. The people PMing me in messages, should I take up a long at $8,400, $8,300? My answer was always no. And the reason for that was, even though I expected us to go much higher, the risk that we would have ended up going down like we did yesterday was still relatively high. And so because of that, it was not worth taking up a long. Now that we have formed a low, now that we have pumped up again, the bottom is in. We've shown volume to confirm it. We're still in a very bullish setup. Everything still remains, and so that is why I think this time when we do test our high, guys, 8,500 where we topped out, that is not a key level. I mean, Bitcoin hasn't really, we look at the VPVR indicator and it doesn't show us anything special about the 8,500 level. It's again, look at this. I mean, it's where the volume starts dropping off, so there is no reason we topped out over here. I think on the next test, on the next bull rally up, when the new cycle or the new sort of wave of bullish volume comes in, we are going to very easily smash past these levels. And guys, the only resistance level comes in at $9,000 and up to 9,200. Now even 9,000 itself is not a point of contention. We can zoom out further, we will see that the volume isn't at 9,000. Okay, this isn't telling us the full picture now because it's it's become very skewed, but you know, $9,000 is not an important level. It is 9,200 that I think is a much more stronger resistance level. But even then, you know what, let me just turn this back on because it's so important that I cover this right now. If we zoom out a little bit more and we look at this overall trend, we can see that right after 8,500, the volume drops off. Guys, if you don't know what the VPVR indicator, it is the volume range, I believe it's called. And what it tells us, hang on a second. It is we just had like a thunderstorm in the UK up to 34 degrees Celsius of weather, but it's still too hot here. What this VPVR is telling us is, well, first of all, yeah, what it is. It's telling us how much volume is traded at these price ranges. Let me take these lines off. It's probably getting a bit confusing. So this is telling us, you know, at this price, for example, between 7,900 and 8,500, there is a lot of volume being traded. And so you would assume that if we can pass this level, there is a lot less volume traded in these areas, and so it should be a very nice, easy journey up. You know, if we made it this far, there is no reason why we can't make it much further, because the volume we had to beat to get this high is a lot more than the volume we will face. It's like, you know, when you climb up a hill, it's very hard to go up, but as soon as you're at the peak, it's very easy to roll down, and just because gravity is helping you. And in this case, the gravity is from the bulls. We are going to smash higher highs. We are going to most likely set higher lows as well. None of this is financial advice. I know nothing. You're just, you know, banking on on sentiment and speculation in this market, but nonetheless, the technicals have lined up. The fundamentals have never been stronger, guys. This is a bullish chart in my opinion, and so that is why I took up a long. It's been a, you know, it wasn't an easy day. I mean, you know, you sit around and you watch these patterns. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, everyone tuning in now, make sure you smash up those likes, subscribe, tick the bell, join the Telegram group. You know, like I said at the beginning, if you've been watching this action in real time, it is extremely nerve-wracking. And so once again, I will repeat it for the people who just came in. It is not a good idea to be overanalyzing these charts. You can very well only come to these charts once a day and do your analysis and then get back to work, and you will do just fine. You do not need to be at these charts 24/7. I do it because it helps me gauge sentiment, it helps me get the best edge over the market, but it is not necessary. As demonstrated day in and day out. You don't need, you know, the daily chart is the most important chart. Crypto Kirby himself, the legend, said it as well. The daily chart is what overrides all of this action. It is the long-term look for Bitcoin, and you can only look at a new daily bar once a day. So, you know, even then you need a lot more data than just one daily chart. So yeah, you know, really speaking my heart out with you guys today. As always, you know, it's just telling you straight up what I think we're seeing, and it, you know, this is, we've formed a falling wedge. We've broken out. We've you know, we're now showing green volume. We've got how many hours? About 5 hours left until this candle close. It looks like our green volume is going to close higher than our previous red volume. The volume MA is arching up now. We most likely are going to break above this Ichi cloud. And guys, this is the only thing that's keeping me bearish at the moment. Okay, I'm done with the bullish stuff now, though. There is something bearish I want to go over. It is something that we have to be aware of. And like I said earlier, for those of you tuning in, yesterday when we had our dump, switch over to the EMA ribbon actually, and I just want to quickly say how reliable this indicator is once again, predicting that we were going to go up, acting as support. Okay, back to the bearish stuff now. Let's turn off all these indicators. Yeah, so, you know, what we're looking at here is yesterday we had this dump, and like I said, it shows two things. First of all, the volume is pretty big, so the bears had a lot of power, but more importantly, the bulls couldn't stop it. So this is what actually concerned me, and we've had a lot of talk in this space now about a double top at 8,500. Now, like I said, 8,500 is pretty much just an arbitrary level. There is nothing special to it. Bitcoin hasn't traded in that range for a long time. It's just a round number. It's just a $500 multiple, and so it does garner some support, some resistance as a psychological number. If you guys have read any TA books, this is one of the first things that they go over. And so it is possible, given that the bulls have shown weakness, we'll exclude this bit of rally. It could very well dry up as we go higher. We bear in mind that the bears will be taking profits as we break these levels. It could be the case that we form some form of a double top. And the reason I'm bringing it up today is that our trend so far has been double top. So this one doesn't really count, but we're looking more at 11.6. We topped out once, topped out again at the same level. 10,000, we topped out once, again at the same level. And of course, if we do top out once again at 84, at 8,500, this will fit in with our trend of setting lower highs every single time. And of course, guys, if we do top out this time, despite all of the fundamentals, despite knowing and believing that the bears have been exhausted. You guys know this is my stance. My stance is that the bears have been exhausted over this 7-month bear market. We have had the triple bottom. We have had the futures reversal. Guys, CME, I believe it was expired today. I said I thought it wouldn't impact the market, but clearly with this expiration, we have had a reversal. Now, we were bearish yesterday. Now we're back to bullish. It is ridiculous. It looks like we have had the bottom, but if we top out at 8,500, that's very definite confirmation that we're still in a bear market and we still have a very long time left in this bear market. Common predictions would be 2 years. Obviously, that's ridiculous thinking about it right now. I don't think it's going to go on for 2 years. We have shown a lot of signs of stability. We have now seen this volume arching up. Of course, Coinbase charts being absolutely useless because they've lied to us about the volume. This was like back in February or something. So many of you may not be aware of that. But yeah, CME future expiration was also today. Forgot my point now. Yeah, so this double top. So, if we do get rejected, we're going to go much lower. And that would be a very big short opportunity. Now, of course, my game plan here will be obviously to take profits before these levels. But also, once we do see 8,500, I'm going to be examining how we hit that area. Did we hit it with volume? Did the bulls look like they've lost power? Did we even hit that level? How long did it take? All of these questions will be answered when the time comes. And if it looks like we're going to go down, I am going to look for a little bit more confirmation to reduce the risk. Because, guys, bear in mind, if we go short at 8,500, literally, the floor, our first big target would be $6,000. So that's a huge, huge amount of profit. And so it doesn't hurt to wait for a little bit of confirmation, to miss out on a little bit of profit in order to make sure that our risk is going to be much lower and our reward staying incredibly huge. Guys, these are the game plans I will give in this YouTube channel, in the Crypto Mafia Gold channel, of course, in VIP, guys. One of the messages in the VIP chat today, being in this group, made me realize how important it is to have at least 50% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. Let's just take a look at the cryptocurrency market cap page once again. Bitcoin dominance rising now 47.3%. It's been a sideways day for Bitcoin. 24 hours ago, it was at the same level, and alts have been still getting wrecked. So back to this message. Moving forward, I'm going to keep 60 to 70% in Bitcoin and 40 to 30 in alts. Previously, I felt the need for more alts because it's the only way, except for buying, to increase how much Bitcoin you have. But as we've shown time and time again, leverage trading is so powerful, and when you can balance the risk to reward, when you practice good risk management in this game, the gains, you put them next to alts, and alts look like a sandbox game for toddlers. It is it looks like child's play in front of leverage trading. And so big shout out to this guy. I would love to say his name, but I don't want to dox him. Yeah, thanks to Four Flies, the risk to reward is amazing. Like I say, I get so many of these messages every day. I would show you all of them, but I know that would get a little bit annoying, so I only pick one. If you guys are interested in VIP, you get all of my signals. We have been very active in there. Like I said, I'm up about 40% at the moment on a long. Today we did close that long position we had before at 100% profit. So pretty good once again. Okay. Yeah, so Sen, OMG, that's my message. Yeah. I didn't want to say it, but I guess you're happy with that. That's okay then. So yeah, guys, I am done with my TA. You know, the 1-day Ichi Cloud, I still think it's not concerning. The 4-hour EMA ribbon giving us support once again. Just want to check out the 2-hour EMA ribbon as well. Again, thanks to that guy yesterday who did point it out. And yeah, it looks like it could be forming some support for us. It angles down very quickly because it is only the 2-hour candles. But nonetheless, you know, if we were to fall back down into this ribbon, I think that would be very definite support. I do really love this indicator on this time frame. It's pretty cool. Lawrence, 4 flies could also be something else. The explanation about not going up for Bitcoin. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I've lost the context. Let's check out what else we've got in these comments today. Yeah, I mean, you know, the volume on the whole. Let's just check out the alt market again. Didn't really give this much time today. You know, it's still... So we're battling this $300 billion resistance. This has been an area of contention. I don't think it's so important. I don't think, you know, market cap resistance levels are very important anyway. It's not like people are analyzing this with lines on the chart, although they do try, which is funny. You know, on the whole, you know, everything is still flowing into Bitcoin. Like I said, the gains are in Bitcoin. You can't trade most of these alts on leverage, and so really the game is still in Bitcoin's favor. And you know, again, we look at the percent changes. Like I said, 24 hours ago, need to refresh this page actually. Let's check out where we're at now. You know, 24. Okay, so market cap has dropped just by you know, like a 1 billion difference. And again, Bitcoin pretty much the same, all alts losing a little bit. So everything did bounce, but Bitcoin did bounce the hardest and you know, break even from yesterday. You know, it's the typical, you know, it's the typical image. And of course, you know, like I showed you with this image, alts are not where the money is. You know, 2018 is not a hodler's year. 2017 was, but hodling only works until it doesn't. And with such, you know, huge swings like we have had in this market, this is where the actual traders can really prosper. And of course, if you guys remember, I told you a couple weeks ago, May was my 2018 low in terms of my portfolio size. But June I went up to my all-time high and I passed it. And July this month, you know, with all of these trades getting a 2-3x on every single signal that we do, with only one exception, I've gone way past my all-time high now. I mean, exponentially past it. So, you know, the gains are made in these markets. You know, there was a tweet a while back, where can you make the most money, in a bull market or in a bear market? And guys, the answer is a bear market, because you think about it this way: you accumulate Bitcoin on the way down, you short it. Prices, you know, how long did it take us to go from 2,000 to 20,000? It took a bloody year, right? And well, less than that. And we look at the percent it went down. So 2,000 to 20,000, I don't know, that was like a 10x gain. And then 20,000 down to 6,000 was a 70% loss. And that happened over the course of, well, it happened in, you know, 2 months, 3 months, or something like that. Yeah, just under 3 months. So the gains that made very quickly. You know, you go 70%, 70. Let me do the math because I'm terrible at math. You know, 70 times 25. Assume you got 25x leverage, and you've got a 1,750% gain. That is an 18x. An 18 times gain. You put in 1 Bitcoin, you get 18 out. If you went short on Bitcoin at $20,000 down to 6,000, you make more money in the bear markets. But then the other side of that is when you accumulate more Bitcoin, these markets happen in cycles. So we have a bear market followed by a bull market, followed by a bear market, and it goes on in cycles like that. The overall trend has been for Bitcoin, you guys already know it, since it launched in 2009, since it started trading, it has been in probably, you know, the biggest uptrend in history in terms of percent gains. And you know, you consider in a bear market you have a chance to accumulate more Bitcoin, and in a bull market you get to ride it up. The profits are huge. It's just unfortunate that we can't see it in front of us, because, you know, when prices go up, that's where everyone makes money. But when prices go down, it's only where the select few who really know what they're doing make their money. I've ignored these questions. Okay, I'm going to get to them in just a second. Going alt shopping, you know, I mean, like I said, this is the time, if you really do believe in alts, to be loading up on them for long-term investments. But I am not going to be taking part in that myself particularly. Are we back to bots or human traders? And is 8500 resistance not concerning? So, Mr. Xbotics, I went over that just briefly before. As for bots or human traders, I think we are back to human traders, my friend. We do have a lot of volume in this market now. We do have more interest across the board. So it is looking pretty good. I'm interested in joining VIP. How can I find out more? Go ahead and click the link in the description for t.me/cryptomafia_gold. Just below that, I did give the instructions to join VIP. Click on my name at the bottom of Telegram posts and message me. That is, as I always say, the only way to join VIP. You go to the free Telegram group, Crypto Mafia Gold, and hit me up. The name, you can click on my name in that group, and you can message me there. Just ask me, how do I join VIP? Already got a couple messages, and I will reply to everyone right after this stream. Four Flies, if we pass the cloud, what do you think that means for the future? JBV, I think for the future, that's going to... Well, actually, for the short term, mid-term, first of all, that's going to mean we've cleared up one of the most significant resistance points for Bitcoin. That would make me incredibly bullish for the mid and long term. It's not going to mean that I'm immediately going to go 100x long. That would obviously be pretty stupid. But it would mean that we've cleared a huge area of resistance. Ichimoku is incredibly reliable. You guys already know it. Check out my video on the Ichimoku cloud if you don't know what I'm talking about. I would really like it. But we do still have to be wary. You know, perhaps we could top out and form a double top with our general trend. On the at 10k, of course 11.6 is the area to breach, and once we do breach that, you know, even though if we do breach the Ichi cloud, which would be, you know, crossing about $9,000, we still have the big one, which is 11,600, and really anything can happen between 9,000 and 11,600. That's a massive range to trade in, so it would be too easy to call, but I mean that would be a massive weight off our shoulders, so pretty good. Jeff Rockwell, Moon the Lights, that is Kirby's catchphrase, but since you're saying it, I will repeat it. If we could smash up those likes, guys, 600 viewers there live watching these streams. Of course, it is great to see everyone watching these streams and waiting for them to start as well. Amazing to see everyone waiting for these streams to start. Do you think the lack of weekend volume will stagnate this rally? Robert Derriu, typically I am not, I don't assign importance to day of the week, but lately it has looked like the weekends have resulted in either stagnation or just boring markets, and so yes, it is unfortunate timing that this pump happened on a Friday rather than a Monday, for example. I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm just going to sit back and relax. You know, I said a couple of days ago, my birthday is going to be on Sunday. I'm going to start learning to drive. Well, I already know how to drive. I'm going to actually get my driving license very soon, get in that Audi convertible, and start enjoying the fruits of my hard work. So it is going to be a relaxing, fun weekend for me. And I think it should be for everyone else as well, guys. There is a lot of stress in this market, as demonstrated today, but you know, we're making big numbers in here, and it doesn't make sense to only be working for the money. You need to be able to enjoy it a little bit as well. So I am very excited to be able to jump in that Audi and start you know, burning out and whatever, you know, having some fun. Checked out a Porsche a couple days ago, and that will be my next car. I am sold on that. My heart is yearning for that 718 Boxster, but I decided not to pick it up anyway. So we've got a hidden divergence. Yeah, the scammer talking about that. So we've got the RSI going down. Oh, sorry, this isn't a hidden divergence. Have I missed something? This is just normal RSI movement. I haven't noticed that hidden divergence. If you can tell me about that. Crypto future incoming. John Doe, happy birthday. Thank you very much, mate. Someone else said that as well. I've lost the comment. Fashad, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, I am very excited. Usually never really cared about birthdays, but this being the 17th, in the UK, that is when you can drive. So, yeah, I mean, looking forward to that one much more than even 18. It will be pretty cool, yeah. Don't crash. I hopefully won't crash, my friend. Yeah, I mean, no one really plans on crashing when they get their license. Full Flies, can you discuss the 200 DMA resistance? I don't know what the DMA is. Maybe you mean the moving average? Or you mean the simple... I think you mean the simple moving average, don't you? And Death Cross, Golden Cross of the moving averages. Okay, Blake Wadsworth, because so many people are talking about this, I will acknowledge it for this stream only. I will have to be cutting this one short, guys. It has been 30 minutes. This will probably be the last question I take. I just want to quickly look at this. Now, you see, the issue with golden crosses and death crosses is that we do these on so many different time frames that it gets very confusing and it becomes irrelevant. So I think what a lot of people are talking about now is the 200 MA on the 1 day crossing below the 50 MA. And the time frame for that has been, within the next 2 weeks, and it does look possible. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong chart, let me know. We obviously did have our death cross way before, but that was at a price level of 6,900 and, well, around about, the low 6,000s. And so if you did sell in light of this death cross, you've been screwed, because you've sold literally, pretty much at the bottom, and you would have had like a 50% nearly gain, or 40-30% gain had you just held on. So death crosses, golden crosses are not something I give a lot of weight to in this market, because Bitcoin does not respect them in this market, that is. But obviously a golden cross is a good sign. It's showing us that the short-term movement has taken precedence over the long-term movement, and it means that we are bullish. Very, very good sign. Personally, I don't think it's it's not an indicator. Like I said, it's the first time I've seen this indicator in months. This coupling of indicators. So I don't think it's important, but I thought it would be important to at least acknowledge that once. Daikon, because going 25x with your whole account is asking to get wrecked. Yeah, I mean, going all in on a position is never a good thing to do. So yeah, smash up those likes and let's get this crypto. You're really trying to merge me in with Kirby, guys, aren't you, today? Even with the FUD, it was hitting 7,800 support perfectly. I think it cannot be more bullish. You know what? I completely agree with you, man. I mean, this is the thing. Like, we dropped from 85 to 78, which is a $700 move. And that's hardly anything, look at the bloody chart. It hardly went down at all. It was a retrace from, 2 days of huge upward movement. We went down about, 5%, like I said, and people were losing their minds. Really, it doesn't make sense. Look, we bottomed out at 7,800. That is old resistance turning support. Like you said, it cannot be more bullish. There's a lot of disbelief right now. I believe it firmly. In this space, there is a lot of disbelief, and it's unfortunate, but we are trying to beat that. We are trying to beat those psychological barriers here. Let's check out what else we've got in these comments, guys. I might take just one or two more and then go ahead and sign off. Debbie, no, I am not a psychic, unfortunately. I'd be pretty rich right now if I was. What about the RSI divergence? Okay, I don't know what you're talking about there. If you can point out, perhaps show me a chart in PMs or something, because I haven't seen these RSI divergences. Like I said, I don't look at the RSI. The only reason I have it on is to make me feel comfortable, help me sleep at night a little bit better. I do not think the RSI is a reliable indicator at the moment. Why cherry picking questions? I'm not. Just picking out the relevant ones. I guess that is cherry picking, actually. You got the question right, Four Flies. Signing up to your VIP, thanks. Blake, that is awesome. Yeah, go ahead and message me. And yeah, I've already got quite a few, and I will get back to you right after this stream. On what price you get long on what leverage? I went long at 8,130 with a 25 times leverage. So yeah, that is right now. I believe that's like a 30% profit at this current price. And of course, we'll get better as we climb higher. JBV, disbelief rally means that we're going to stop spamming now. I will put you in a timeout. It means that we'll be going higher, but people won't believe it. He's a psychic. He's an analyst, but I know the psychics. There are a lot of psychics in this space right now. It's quite funny. Yeah, guys, with that, though, I am going to be signing off for this stream. It has been an absolute pleasure sharing my ideas with you. It has been a very interesting day, to say the least, but nonetheless, we have emerged at the top with a pretty nice profit to show for it. All of these struggles, like I said, the weekend will be a relaxing one for me. I will, of course, still stick to the signals and all that, but I may not be able to come on streams. If not, Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend, guys. The money is not worth the stress. I say it over and over. Let's try and beat these FOMO newbie actions right now. There's a lot of it going on in the market. I've been trying my best to quelch it within this community. It is not easy. So I think it is time, guys, to download the Headspace app, like I said yesterday. Do some breathing techniques. Get your emotions under control. You know, guys, like I said, if you are losing your shit over these movements, there is only one reason for it, and that reason is you have too much invested in this market. That is it. You know, you have too much, maybe you're a little bit desperate, you have bills to pay, I get it. Crypto trading is not the place to be racking up the money to pay your bills, because there is desperation behind that, there is emotion behind your trade, and you will lose out most of the time. I have been there. I have been in these desperation little sprees. Trust me, knowing what I do now, if I had a bad financial situation right now, I would not be in the crypto market, because you are just asking to lose your money. You'll trade with emotion behind it, and you're going to lose it. I wish there was a nicer way to say it, but there's not. If you can find a way to remove your emotion, of course, you will then be very well off, and you can practice good risk management. And yeah, it will be a very nice day for you. So guys, yeah, with that, I am going to be signing off. Make sure you smash up those likes one more time. Subscribe, tick the bell so you don't miss out on these uploads. Join the Telegram channel, and of course, if you guys are interested in VIP, go ahead and message me, and I will get back to you in just a second. I think I'm going to hop on into the Discord VIP chat. I did tell people in there that I will be coming back on. We jump into that chat every day before the streams and talk for a little bit. And we will probably do that as we go forward as well. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, I'm going to be signing off now. Peace.